is having a freak out. So Wendy has to get a baseball bat and defend herself. And he's like, stop swinging the bat. Give me the bat. And then he says, I ain't gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them in. So then she swings at him, hits his hand, and hits him again, and goes flying down the stairs.
Oh, God. That sounds painful.
Well, they weren't concrete stairs. They were like wooden stairs, but they had carpet above it.
Oh.
So, yeah, the movie The Shining is controversial, but really good. I would recommend it if anyone's seen it. I know there's a sequel to it. It's called Dr. Sleep. I haven't seen it, but I've heard some good reviews. But if I have to see it, then yeah.
Are you a big Stephen King fan?
It depends on the movie.
So what do you think about this recent Stephen King movie remake?
I'm not sure.
But if you had to pick a favorite, you would say It, right?
The original It was pretty good, but it's more cartoonish.
Right.
The new It is really good. Like, the first one's really good. The second one has its moments here and there that's really good. Like, I think the first scene, the first movie, my favorite scene, he's, hiya, Georgie. I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown. He goes like that. And then he tells Georgie, like, down here we have a circus. Can you smell it? All the hot dogs and the cotton candy. And the kid says popcorn. He's like, popcorn. But then bites his arm off, and wow, that scene shocked the hell out of me. But the second one, I'll say my favorite scene's more comedic. That one guy who's trying to be a comedian. And Pennywise has a bunch of balloons. He's coming down and says, I know your secret, your dirty little secret. He keeps saying that and getting closer and closer. That scene shocked me, but I loved it. Like, if they made a third one, that would be awesome. But right now, everything's up in the air.
Yeah, and they will pretty much run out of ideas, right? Because in the first version, I think 80s, 90s version. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was early 90s.
Yeah, they just did it all in one, from the childhood and then the adulthood of the protagonist. But
yeah.
I guess with the new version, they decided to do two. Yeah, so they decided to do two films, one based on the childhood and the other on what happens later when these kids grow up.
Yeah.
And it's funny what Mike says about comparing the first Pennywise with the second one, because a lot of people say the opposite. They said that the old one was actually creepier than the new one.
Not really, because there's a lot of people who like clowns, but after Pennywise, people are fearing clowns. Like, the original, I liked it at first, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, it's too comedic. I need something actually creepy that will cause me to have nightmares, but I don't get nightmares. I deliver them. Switch up.
So it's time to switch.
Yeah, it's my turn.
I guess we're gonna...
Shoot. I just fell.
I guess we're gonna switch the conversation to...
Yeah, like, since we're talking about horrors, change it up.
Okay, so now I'm gonna be in this chair. Yeah, sorry, it's a little tricky to get off.
Well, not for me.
This thing is kind of narrowed up. So.
Narrow? Oh, I gotta take these off because they're too big. There we go. Come on. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I can barely see my head, but it's alright.
Yeah, so we were talking about horror movies, so now, so what about serial killer documentaries?
Oh yeah, there's a handful of them I've seen. Like there's the one about Ed Gein. Like, and it talked about like the movies inspired by him. Like the first Texas Chainsaw was inspired by him. What's the other one? Oh no, I think it was the characters. Like Leatherface was an inspiration from Ed Gein. He also inspired. She water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. she and what do you call it? He.
Oh, she needs water.
Yeah. Ed Gein also. I think Ed Gein was also an inspiration to.
Oye, no me acuerdo estar en mi agua. No me acuerdo. Ahí regreso.
Ed Gein was also an inspiration to Norman Bates of Psycho.
Yeah.
You know, the Anthony Perkins one, not the Vince Vaughn one. There's a remake and it was not as good.
You don't think Vince Vaughn was a good pick for that remake?
No. But Vince Vaughn, he's a great actor. There's other movies he was in that was really good, like Dodgeball. That one's funny as hell. Like, you should just watch it. And one more character Ed Gein inspired, or was people making movies inspired by, was Buffalo Bob from Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, because Ed Gein, look what he did.
Yeah.
Come on, you're talking to a horror nut, so.
Anyway, yeah, with serial killers, you would expect all of them to be men, but you would be impressed with all these women who are also serial killers. Like, if we're talking about documentaries about serial killers that impress me, that would be Eileen Wuornos because of all the men that she killed. Yeah, pretty tough case.
Who?
Eileen Wuornos. You know,
Oh yeah, they made a movie about her called Monster.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I heard some good reviews about the movie. Even though it's a 2000s movie. Like, you know, early 2000s, like, what were they thinking? But no, I read books about serial killers. I would say one I read about, her name is Countess Elizabeth Bathory.
Yeah.
Or Countess Blood, if you like.
Yeah. If you speak Spanish, you should check out this channel from this YouTube user called Rodsnack. He's from Venezuela and he lives in Argentina. And he made a top 7 about people who sold their souls to the devil, and Elizabeth Bathory was at number 1. So you can tell how wicked she was, you know, based on that.
She also was on a list of, it's on WatchMojo.com, the top deadly women. She was at number 1.
Wow, from the top 10, yeah.
Well, actually it was top 20. They made 2 lists, so she was number 1 because she killed 650, you know, women. And she had bathed in their blood, you know, as, I don't know, some celebration, I guess.
In this video I mentioned with the top 7 people who sold their souls, and they also mentioned that she was initiated by her counselor, who would always dress in black robes, and his name was Tonko or something like that. So
I think so.
He initiated her when she was only 15 because she was always lonely. Her husband would always be out in battle, and because I read that a lot of people in Hungary were at war with the Turkish Ottoman Empire at the time. And she had like a bunch of dark people in her court, including 2 witches. I've done research on them, but for some reason I can't find anything about, I believe there were 2 sisters. One of them was Dorothea, and the other one I can't remember the name, but yeah, I can't find any information on them for some reason.
Yeah, I watch a lot of documentaries about serial killers, you know. There was even one, he was like a Nazi doctor. They called him the Angel of Death. Yeah, he committed all these terrible experiments during World War II. And it's funny, the band Slayer made a song about him with the same name, Angel of Death, which is one of my favorite songs, even though it's their most popular. Like when I'm to go see Slayer, that's the last song they'll play before they bow out.
What an iconic moment.
It was awesome though, actually seeing, like if you go to shows and you see a band that you like play your favorite song or one of your favorites, check it out.
Yeah. So going back to the serial killer women, a case that I noticed that was particularly interesting was the one about La Mata Viejitas, or the old lady killer, because this happened in Mexico City years ago. And people initially thought that because, you know, these were old ladies who were dying, they thought that the perpetrator was a man. And surprise, surprise, it turned out to be a woman. And this woman...
They had their accounts wrong.
Yeah. And this woman was involved in wrestling before. Like, she was a an aspiring wrestler, and she knew a lot of wrestlers in the field. And yeah, people were impressed. I'm like, why did she start doing this? But you know, it goes to show that appearances don't always tell the truth. That you may think a person's a certain way because of how they behave or what they say and stuff, and then you may be surprised because of what they end up doing.
Yeah, I would say there are certain killers out there. Some are lucky to escape, others not so much.
Yeah, it reminds me of this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this show, Criminal Minds, which I've been watching. There was a similar case there. Like there were killings at this small town, and there were these kids, you know, the popular kids that the girls were nice and the guys too, and they were the children of the most important people in the town, and so nobody suspected they would be involved in the killing. So the first suspects were these like mini sect of Satanists. Well, not actual Satanists who do sacrifices, but you know, the atheist ones who just hang around to listen to music and get drunk and stuff like that. And yeah, it turns out that these guys, the Satanists, were not the killer ones. I mean, their leader got arrested and he was interviewed, but you know, it was all prejudice because you know they assumed that just because he was a Satanist, he was the killer. But yeah. So the rich, good kids were the ones who, especially the most important guy, the son of the sheriff in town or something. Yeah, he's the one who ended up being the killer.
Yeah, because I watch a lot of documentaries, and there's another YouTube page I actually follow. It's called Scary Mysteries, and well, they have a list. I think it's called the top 5 satanic killers. Yeah, where they would just kill for Satan.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was one metal band, I think in Europe, I don't know what part. They had a name called the Beast of Satan. Yeah, they're all in prison right now because I guess one of the victims, the parents were like doing a documentary about this band, like, are they what they are? And then they found out. Especially one of the members decided to rat everybody out.
Wow.
Hey, that guy ratted his old bandmates out. Kudos, good on you, but you're now known as a snitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had them, and I forgot who else they put on that list. Yeah.
And you think Mayhem is bad, but check out these guys.
No, Mayhem, actually, they weren't really satanic. They would say that just to mess with the press and mess with people.
You think they were more into like the Odin cult or whatever?
A lot of them were, like in the black metal scene, but a lot of them weren't. They were just like, they don't like any religion whatsoever. They just want to be left like that.
That Vickerness, you know, the killer, he's still into that Viking religion, right?
Oh yeah, Varg. He's well, his original band was Burzum. Actually, no, that's not true. He was part of this occult band before Burzum ever formed. It was called Old Funeral. He was a guitarist, and when that band broke up, I guess he decided to go solo and make his own stuff. And even though he did all that terrible stuff, he's really intellectual. Like, he knows his stuff, but some things I don't agree with him. Sorry to say it.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Like, I listened to the first Burzum album and it was really good. Like, I think there's 2 instrumentals where it's either guitar or like synth keyboard and all that. The rest is all like heavy stuff. Yeah, you know, I do have a Burzum shirt at home, but I have to go through my closet and look for it.
Yeah, sometimes clothes can pile up in the closets, especially when you don't have as much room, and like that's when you say, oh yeah, I gotta stop buying so much shirts or pants or whatever you have.
Yeah, I gotta stop buying shirts for a while.
Yeah, I'm addicted to buying shirts too. I mean, lately I haven't been buying any, but before, yeah, whenever I saw something nice online, I would say, yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, like recently I did see some band shirts I wanted, but I looked at the price and I'm like, oh, I can't afford that. due to the financial problems, thanks to a lot of problems going on. It's mainly political.
Yes, COVID-19, you know, like a lot of people are now calling it the COVID 666 because of what is happening.
Yeah, I think I heard someone say that before. I just don't remember.
It's also the name of a song by this heavy metal Mexican band called Brujeria. Yeah.
I'd check it out.
It's in Spanish, but yeah, they're calling it a demonic plague or whatever. Oh, you need some napkins, right?
Sure.
I'll leave some away and give you.
I'm sweating like crazy. But now there's some bands I like that are not very religious, or some are very evil. The other ones, they're okay. Like, I do like Norwegian black metal, but not all bands. Yeah.
Is Gorgoroth among your favorites?
Well, the early lineup, because I know people are gonna get mad at saying this, but the lineup of Gaul, it didn't work out with me. It didn't, set up the right way. But the lineup with the original lineup, I think the singer's name was Pat. I think it was. I liked his vocals better. It was more screeching, real evil. Pest was pretty good. Like that was the second lineup. But Gaul, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like if you ever watched that documentary, Metal A Headbanger's Journey, he just sits there and drinks a little thing of wine that says Satan. That does not make you evil. That just makes you a real.
It sounds weird, right? I mean, that sounds like. I mean, no offense, but that sounds like something.
People who are into Halloween and all that.
No, but it's something that Jack Black would do. You know, when he was in that in those award ceremonies, and he would play his satanic character, and he's like, "Oh, I raise up your horns and say hail Satan," you know, kind of like that.
I know, but there's a lot of bands that talk about that, but other bands won't. Like my band, we'll talk about satanic stuff, but we won't, talk about it so much.
Yeah, they won't be praising it because we're Christian, believe it or not. Well, you see my cross, but
I don't have one.
yeah, Mike's Christian. Well, you do. He has a Black Sabbath cross that he only wears when he's wearing his Black Sabbath shirt.
I'm thinking about wearing it next weekend because I'm a Sabbath fan.
Yeah, me too. I love Black Sabbath.
I've seen them live before they retired.
See, isn't he lucky? I say he is.
There's more bands I want to see, but this year jacked up on those plans.
That's why I was so blessed to see, because I'm a Gary Newman fan, so that's why I'm so blessed that I saw him in 2018. Even my niece Ruby went with me, and it was such a nice experience for her too. I mean, we couldn't see him backstage because it's so expensive, but
I know the VIP passes for many shows are pricey.
yeah, when he comes back, yeah, we'll definitely meet him. I love to talk to him. Like, he's such an inspiration to me.
Hell, there's a handful of musicians that I have met from many different bands. Most of them are underground, others are just world famous. I did meet Lars Ulrich from Metallica, but it was like a bad experience for me because he was in a hurry. But I'm learning to let it go. I still like the first 4 Metallica albums. Yeah, and then I met Kurt from DRI. He's nice in person, by the way. He'll shake your hand, sign autographs, take pictures. The whole 9 yards. I also met what's his name? Brian Head Welch from Korn. Even though I don't listen to Korn anymore, but he was nice in person too. Yeah, because have you ever heard his solo stuff? It's, talking about going back to religion because he got off drugs. Yeah, he got off drugs to take care of his daughter.
That's what I read at a magazine, that he became a Christian.
But he still does not like organized religions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in organized religion either. To me, Christianity is not a religion, it's more of a personal, it's a personal relationship with the Lord,
Yeah. For me, though, I'm a different type of Christian. Like, I'm a nice guy, though. I won't judge anybody. Except I judge what's in here.
Yeah.
Like if they're a hateful person, I'll judge the shit out of them.
Yeah, exactly. Who needs haters? Like, it's just that a lot of haters and white supremacists and racist. I think they're giving Christianity a bad name because we're not like that. I mean, when Jesus died, he did it for everybody, not just white people or brown people, you know, etc. He died for all of us.
It's for every person, you know.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, a lot of Christians don't listen to metal, but I do.
Well, there's a heavy metal church in where was it again?
Shoot, I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up while doing this.
Yeah, but as you know, a lot of people do consider that controversial because to a lot of conservative Christians, heavy metal is satanic, which is stupid to me, but you know, it makes perfect sense for them. And so yeah, they would find a heavy metal church pretty controversial in that way.
Hell, I'll go to it.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, it's the first heavy metal Church of Christ, Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, in Ohio. Wow.
There's another one too. There's like tons of them. Let's see.
You know, Brian Warner or Marilyn Manson, as we all know him, he was from Canton, Ohio. So there you go.
There's tons of them. Well, I know there's one in South America, I think. Like, if you ever seen the Iron Maiden tour DVD called Flight 666, they went, I guess, like someone that's like an Iron Maiden church, where it's all Iron Maiden, you know, this pastor or preacher, or whatever you want to call him, had Iron Maiden tattoos, he's wearing a shirt and everything.
Wow.
I'm like, that guy's a super fan.
Indeed.
I do have some Iron Maiden vinyl, but I don't have all. Like, I don't have Somewhere in Time, No Prayer for Dying, Live After Death, and Fear the Dark. Those are the ones I'm missing, but every other album I got. You know, the early stuff before Bruce left in solo and they came back in 2000.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of band comebacks are not as good as when they were years ago, either because the lead singer retires and they change it for another guy, or I don't know. You know, things happen.
A lot of bands, actually, the singer either gets fired or they leave because of personal demons. Like Ozzy, he got kicked out. And I think Bruce from Iron Maiden, he left because of some personal problems. Oh.
Your chocolate got stuck in the...
Oh. Shit.
What, something fell?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it's just this part.